Your microwave sits on the counter, quiet and convenient. You trust it to heat your meals safely. But what if the very appliance you depend on is leaking radiation or sparking fires without warning? For seniors, the risks are real and dangerously underreported. Today, we are exposing 9 microwave brands you should avoid at all costs and the 2 that actually deserve your trust. Coming in at number 9, we have Hamilton Beach. Hamilton Beach markets itself as an affordable, reliable kitchen companion. The packaging promises durability, even heating, and family-friendly safety features. Millions of American seniors have one sitting on their counter right now, believing they made a smart, budget-conscious choice. Walk through any big box retailer and you will see Hamilton Beach microwaves prominently displayed, their boxes adorned with smiling families and promises of convenient cooking. But here is what Hamilton Beach does not tell you on the box. Consumer Product Safety Commission records show Hamilton Beach microwaves have been involved in multiple recall events over the past decade. The most alarming involved fire hazards that put thousands of homes at risk. Owners reported their units suddenly sparking, smoking, and in some cases, igniting while in use. Imagine reheating your morning oatmeal and smelling something acrid, sharp, and wrong. You look over and see smoke curling from the vents, thick and gray, filling your kitchen with a chemical haze. For a senior living alone, that moment of confusion could mean the difference between a small scare and a devastating kitchen fire that destroys everything. Beyond the fire risk, independent testing labs have flagged inconsistent wattage output in certain Hamilton Beach models. What does that mean for you? Uneven heating, cold spots in your food. And cold spots are not just an inconvenience that leaves your soup lukewarm in the middle. They are a breeding ground for bacteria. When your leftover chicken or reheated soup does not reach a safe internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit throughout, harmful pathogens like Salmonella and Listeria survive. For seniors, especially those with weakened immune systems or on medications that suppress immune response, a bout of food poisoning can escalate into hospitalization, kidney failure, or worse. The CDC reports that adults over 65 are 4 times more likely to be hospitalized from foodborne illness than younger adults. The company touts easy-to-clean interiors and simple controls, but customer reviews tell a different story. Complaints pile up about control panels that stop responding after a few months, doors that refuse to latch properly, and turntables that grind to a halt with an unsettling metal-on-metal screech. A microwave with a faulty door latch is not just an annoyance, it is a radiation leak waiting to happen. The FDA sets strict limits on microwave radiation leakage, but those limits assume your appliance is functioning correctly. A broken latch compromises the seal, and suddenly, invisible waves escape into your kitchen while you stand inches away preparing your next meal. Hamilton Beach promised affordability and reliability. What many seniors received was a fire hazard with inconsistent heating and questionable build quality. The betrayal stings most because this brand positioned itself as the sensible choice for families and retirees watching their budgets. You trusted them to give you value. They gave you risk instead. Why is it always the cheapest appliances that seem to cause the most problems? Coincidence? Or is there something else going on behind the scenes at these manufacturing plants? We will reveal safer options at the very end of the video. Stick around because the solution is coming. At number 8, we have Farberware. Farberware carries decades of brand recognition that spans generations. Your mother probably had Farberware pots and pans hanging in her kitchen. Your grandmother likely served holiday dinners from Farberware cookware. The name evokes a sense of American tradition, quality craftsmanship, and kitchen reliability that stretches back to 1900. So when Farberware slapped its name on microwaves, seniors trusted it without hesitation. They believed the same standards applied. That trust, unfortunately, was misplaced. Reports submitted to the Consumer Product Safety Commission reveal a troubling pattern with Farberware microwaves. Electrical failures, often without warning, have caused units to overheat internally even during brief routine operation. Owners describe a burning smell, like melting plastic and scorched wiring, emanating from their microwaves during normal use. The odor creeps through the kitchen, sharp and alarming, impossible to ignore. One report described opening the microwave door to find the interior ceiling panel warped and discolored from heat damage. The white plastic turned brown and bubbly, despite the unit only being used to warm a cup of tea for 2 minutes. For seniors managing heart conditions or blood pressure issues, the stress of a sudden appliance failure is more than an inconvenience. Unexpected emergencies, even small ones, can trigger spikes in blood pressure and heart rate that strain an already vulnerable cardiovascular system. The adrenaline surge from discovering your microwave smoking and sparking is not something you're your heart needs. Studies show that acute stress events can trigger cardiac episodes in susceptible individuals. Your morning coffee should not come with that kind of risk. Beyond the immediate fire and electrical hazards, Farberware microwaves have drawn criticism for poor radiation shielding in certain production runs. While no large-scale recall addressed this directly, independent consumer advocacy groups have documented cases where radiation leakage exceeded FDA-recommended limits by measurable margins. The microwave door, the primary barrier between you and the magnetron that generates those cooking waves, showed gaps and imperfections in some units. You cannot see microwave radiation. You cannot smell it or feel it on your skin. But prolonged exposure, especially at close range while you stand waiting for your meal, carries potential health risks that scientists are still studying. The brand promises classic American quality built on a century of trust. But testing and consumer complaints paint a picture of cost-cutting manufacturing that sacrifices safety for profit margins. Seniors who purchased Farberware microwaves believing they were buying trusted heritage received something far less reassuring. The name on the box meant nothing when the product inside could catch fire. Have you ever noticed a strange smell coming from your microwave? That burning odor that makes you pause? Drop your experience in the comments below. You might be surprised how many others share your story. Now at number 7, Emerson. Emerson once dominated the affordable electronics market with a presence in nearly every American household. Televisions, radios, and yes, microwaves bearing the Emerson name filled American homes for generations. The brand positioned itself as dependable technology for everyday families who wanted quality without breaking the bank, budget-friendly without sacrificing performance. That was the promise emblazoned on every product. The reality is far more troubling than any marketing slogan suggested. Emerson microwaves have accumulated a disturbing number of consumer complaints related to sudden electrical failure. Owners report units that simply stop working mid-cycle, trapping food inside with no way to open the door without manual intervention or tools. Others describe a loud popping sound, like a small firecracker going off inside the unit, followed by complete shutdown and a distinct odor of burnt electronics that lingers for days. For a senior relying on a microwave for daily meal preparation, especially those with limited mobility who cannot easily bend down to use a conventional oven or stand at a stovetop, a sudden appliance death creates immediate hardship and disruption to essential nutrition. But the failures are not just inconvenient. They are genuinely dangerous in ways that threaten homes and lives. Electrical shorts in Emerson microwaves have been linked to scorch marks on countertops and inside cabinets where units sat. One consumer report described finding blackened residue behind the unit where the power cord met the outlet. The wiring had overheated severely, melting the plastic casing into a warped, disfigured mass and coming dangerously close to igniting the surrounding cabinetry. A kitchen fire for a senior living alone, especially one with mobility challenges or hearing loss that might prevent them from noticing smoke alarms, can turn catastrophic before help arrives. Emerson also faced criticism for inconsistent quality control that turned every purchase into a gamble. Units produced in certain factories showed higher failure rates than others, but consumers had no way of knowing where their specific microwave originated. You could purchase 2 identical Emerson models from the same store on the same day and receive wildly different build quality. One might work perfectly for years, the other might catch fire within months. That kind of manufacturing lottery is unacceptable when safety is on the line. The brand promised accessible technology for American families at prices everyone could afford. What it delivered, in too many cases, was an appliance gamble with your kitchen and your safety as the stakes. Most people never learn how to protect themselves from these hidden dangers lurking in their kitchens. But we will break it down at the end of the video with real solutions. Number 6 brings us to Magic Chef. Magic Chef sounds whimsical, almost comforting, like something from a fairy tale. The name conjures images of effortless cooking, meals appearing as if by enchantment with the wave of a wand. The branding leans heavily into convenience and ease, targeting seniors and busy families who want quick, reliable meal preparation without hassle or complication. Open the box and everything looks promising, but behind the cheerful name and playful marketing lurks a troubling safety record that no enchantment can fix. Magic Chef microwaves have been flagged repeatedly in Consumer Product Safety Commission databases for fire hazards that put users at genuine risk. The issue often traces back to the magnetron, the component that generates microwave radiation and is essentially the heart of the appliance. In faulty units, the magnetron overheats beyond safe operating temperatures, causing internal components to melt, warp, or ignite. Owners describe opening their microwave doors to find warped plastic drooping from the ceiling, discolored walls streaked with brown burn marks, and in some cases, visible charring on the interior ceiling that looks like the aftermath of an actual fire. The sensory experience is deeply unsettling and stays with people long after. Imagine pressing start on your microwave to heat a simple bowl of soup on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Within moments, You notice an acrid smell, sharp and chemical, nothing like food. You see a faint haze inside the viewing window, almost like fog but darker. By the time you yank the plug from the wall with trembling hands, damage has already occurred. For seniors, especially those with respiratory conditions like COPD or asthma, inhaling fumes from burning plastic and electrical components poses serious health risks that go beyond the immediate fire danger. A single exposure can trigger breathing difficulties, inflammation, and respiratory distress that requires medical intervention. Beyond fire hazards, Magic Chef microwaves have drawn complaints for radiation leakage around door seals that should have been caught in quality control. The cheerful branding does not mention that some production batches shipped with improperly aligned doors, creating gaps where microwave radiation can escape into your kitchen. You stand in front of your microwave, watching your food rotate on the turntable, unaware that invisible energy is leaking toward you with every rotation. The FDA permits up to 5 milliwatts of radiation per square centimeter at a distance of 2 inches from the unit. But that limit assumes proper shielding and a perfectly sealed door. A faulty door seal throws those safety calculations out the window entirely. Magic Chef promised enchanted convenience wrapped in friendly branding. What some seniors received was a ticking time bomb disguised in cheerful packaging with a name that sounded like it belonged in a children's book. Do you think the government actually protects consumers? Or does it really protect the appliance industry and their profits? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Sliding into number 5, we have Galanz. Galanz is one of the largest microwave manufacturers in the entire world, producing millions of units annually. Chances are, even if you have never heard the name Galanz, you have used a Galanz product without realizing it. The company produces microwaves sold under numerous brand names at major retailers, flooding the market with affordable units that promise solid performance at bargain prices that seem too good to pass up. For seniors on fixed incomes watching every dollar, the low price point is incredibly appealing. But that low price comes with hidden costs that only reveal themselves later. Galanz microwaves have been subject to multiple recalls for fire hazards over the years, establishing a pattern that should concern any consumer. The Consumer Product Safety Commission documented cases where units overheated during normal operation, causing internal fires that spread to surrounding cabinetry and threatened entire kitchens. One recall involved over 130,000 units sold at major retailers across the United States. That is 130,000 potential fire hazards sitting in American kitchens, many of them in the homes of seniors who had no idea the dangers sitting on their countertop. How many of those ended up in the homes of people who trusted the low price and familiar retail names? The issue often traces back to aggressive cost-cutting in manufacturing that prioritizes profit over safety. Cheaper components sourced from the lowest bidder, thinner wiring that cannot handle the electrical load, less rigorous quality control that lets defective units slip through to store shelves. When you purchase a microwave for $40 or $50, something had to give to hit that price point. Often, that something is safety. The components that should last years fail within months. The safeguards that should prevent fires are absent or inadequate. Beyond fire risks, Galanz microwaves have been criticized for inconsistent heating performance that affects food safety directly. Independent testing found significant hot and cold spots in food heated using certain models. For seniors, this is not just an inconvenience that means stirring your soup twice. It is a food safety hazard with real health consequences. When reheating leftovers, especially proteins like chicken, beef, or pork, you need consistent internal temperatures throughout to kill harmful bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. Cold spots allow pathogens to survive and multiply. A senior with a compromised immune system, perhaps due to chemotherapy, diabetes, kidney disease, or simply the natural decline that comes with aging, is at heightened risk for severe foodborne illness that could mean hospitalization. Galanz promised affordability without sacrifice so that everyone could have a convenient kitchen. But the sacrifice was always there, hidden in cheaper components and lax quality control. The betrayal is discovering that the bargain you thought you scored could cost you your safety and your health. If this helps you stay safer in your kitchen, hit subscribe. It is free, and it means you will never miss these important exposés that could protect your health and your home. At number 4, Oster takes the stage. Oster enjoys strong brand recognition in American kitchens that spans generations. Blenders, toasters, and kitchen gadgets bearing the Oster name have been fixtures in homes for decades. Your parents probably had an Oster appliance. You might have received one as a wedding gift. When Oster expanded into microwaves, consumers assumed the same standards of quality and reliability applied. solid construction that lasts, reliable performance you can count on, American kitchen tradition you can trust. That assumption proved dangerous. Consumer reports and safety filings reveal a troubling pattern of electrical failures in Oster microwaves that have frightened users. Owners describe units that spark violently during operation, sending visible arcs of electricity across the interior cavity like blue lightning trapped in a box. One particularly disturbing account described a senior watching in horror as their microwave produced a sustained electrical arc, like a miniature lightning storm, while heating a simple cup of water for tea. The smell of ozone and burning filled the kitchen immediately. The unit had to be unplugged at the wall, and the interior showed permanent burn damage, the walls scarred with black streaks. Electrical arcing is not just a fire hazard that frightens users in the moment. It damages the microwave at a fundamental level, compromising shielding and structural integrity in ways that are often invisible. A unit that has experienced significant arcing should never be used again because the internal damage may have compromised radiation shielding. But many seniors, unaware of the dangers and not wanting to waste money on a replacement, continue using compromised appliances, believing the sparking was a one-time fluke that will not happen again. That belief puts them at risk every time they press start. Oster microwaves have also drawn complaints for premature component failure that occurs far too soon for appliances that should last years. Control panels that stop responding to button presses. Door latches that fail to engage properly, leaving gaps. Turntables that wobble and grind with an unsettling sound. Each of these failures compromises safety in specific ways. A control panel that malfunctions might continue running when you think it is stopped, overheating your food or itself. A door latch that fails to engage allows radiation to escape into your kitchen. A wobbly turntable causes uneven heating, creating those dangerous cold spots where bacteria thrive and multiply. For seniors managing chronic conditions that require careful meal preparation and consistent nutrition, an unreliable microwave is more than frustrating. It is a genuine health hazard. Blood pressure medications, heart medications, and diabetes treatments all require consistent nutrition delivered on schedule. An appliance that fails unpredictably disrupts the careful routines that keep seniors healthy and stable. Oster promised kitchen tradition and reliability built on decades of trust. Many seniors received an appliance that failed them when they needed it most. Do not go yet. The solution comes at the very end, and it could change how you shop for kitchen appliances forever. Number 3 might surprise you. Panasonic. This one might genuinely surprise you. Panasonic is a respected electronics brand with a global reputation for quality engineering and innovation. Their microwaves often cost more than budget competitors, sometimes significantly more, and consumers pay that premium expecting superior engineering and built-in safety features. For seniors investing in a Panasonic microwave, the higher price feels like insurance against problems. Surely a company this respected would never cut corners. But even premium brands have dark spots in their safety records that they do not advertise. Panasonic microwaves have been involved in recall events, though less frequently than budget brands scrambling to hit low price points. The issues, however, are no less serious when they occur. Reports document cases of internal wiring failures that caused overheating and, in some instances, actual fire. One recall involved units where the wiring harness connecting the door safety interlock could overheat and melt from normal use. The door safety interlock is the critical mechanism that prevents the microwave from operating when the door is open. If that system fails, you are exposed to direct microwave radiation while the unit runs. You might not even realize the danger until symptoms appear later. Beyond recalls, consumer complaints reveal concerns about radiation leakage in older Panasonic models as they age. As microwaves accumulate years of use, seals degrade from constant heating and cooling cycles. Hinges loosen from thousands of door openings and closings. The tight tolerances that prevent radiation escape begin to slip imperceptibly. Panasonic units, like all microwaves, require regular inspection to ensure safety as they age. But most seniors do not know this crucial fact. They assume a premium brand means set it and forget it reliability for decades. That assumption is dangerous. The sensory details in consumer complaints are striking and concerning. Owners describe a burning smell, acrid and chemical, emanating from vents during normal operation when nothing should be burning. Others report discoloration on the interior ceiling, yellow or brown staining that is a telltale sign of overheating. One senior described her microwave making a high-pitched whine during operation, a sound that had developed gradually over months until it became impossible to ignore. When she finally had the unit inspected by a technician, he found severely degraded components that posed both fire and radiation risks. She had been using it daily for months without knowing. Panasonic promised premium quality and engineering excellence worth the higher price. But even premium brands cut corners under cost pressure, and the betrayal stings more when you paid extra expecting safety. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, there are approximately 2,600 microwave-related fires reported in the United States each year. Not all involve brand defects, but a significant portion trace back to manufacturing flaws and component failures that should have been caught. For seniors who may have slower reaction times or mobility challenges that make quick evacuation difficult, a microwave fire can escalate faster than they can respond. Number 2 on our list is Sharp. Sharp was once synonymous with cutting-edge electronics that represented the best of Japanese innovation. Televisions, calculators, and yes, microwaves bearing the Sharp name represented Japanese engineering precision at its finest. The brand built its reputation on meticulous attention to detail and quality that justified premium prices. Seniors who purchased Sharp microwaves believed they were investing in that quality, in that meticulous attention to detail, in safety that came from decades of engineering excellence. The reality is more complicated than the marketing suggested. Sharp microwaves have faced criticism for component longevity issues that develop far sooner than they should. Consumer reports describe units that function perfectly for 6 months to a year, giving users confidence in their purchase, then suddenly fail without warning. The failures often manifest as complete electrical shutdown, leaving owners with an inoperable appliance and food trapped inside. Other reports describe gradual degradation that is harder to notice, controls becoming unresponsive to certain buttons, heating becoming inconsistent and unpredictable, door latches growing loose, and requiring extra pressure to close. Each of these issues compounds over time, turning a functioning appliance into a safety hazard incrementally. More concerning are reports of radiation leakage in certain Sharp models that exceeded acceptable limits. Independent testing found that some units, particularly as they aged past the 2 or 3 year mark, exceeded FDA guidelines for acceptable radiation emission. The door seals, which are critical for containing microwave energy safely inside the cooking cavity, showed wear that allowed energy to escape into the kitchen. You cannot feel microwave radiation on your skin. You cannot see it with your eyes, but it is there, leaking into your kitchen every time you heat a cup of coffee or warm your lunch, accumulating exposure over months and years. For seniors with pacemakers or other implanted medical devices, microwave radiation exposure carries additional risks beyond those faced by the general population. While modern pacemakers are designed to resist electromagnetic interference, older models and certain sensitive devices can be affected by electromagnetic energy in ways that disrupt their function. A microwave leaking radiation poses a direct threat to seniors who depend on these life-sustaining devices to regulate their heart rhythm. Sharp promised precision engineering and reliability built on Japanese manufacturing excellence. What some seniors received was an appliance that degraded silently over time, compromising their safety without visible warning signs until it was too late. Is it not strange how million-dollar electronics companies keep having safety issues that hurt consumers, yet their products fill every store shelf and dominate the market? And the number one brand to avoid is Toshiba. Toshiba. The name carries weight in the electronics industry, a global technology giant with decades of reputation in electronics, computers, and home appliances. When seniors see the Toshiba name on a microwave, they expect top-tier engineering from a company that helped define modern electronics. They expect safety built into every component by engineers who know what they are doing. They trust that a company of this stature would never cut corners on safety to save money. That trust has been shaken by what consumers have actually experienced. Toshiba microwaves have accumulated troubling consumer complaints related to sudden electrical failures that occur without warning during normal use. Owners report units that spark dramatically, smoke heavily, and in some cases catch fire during normal operation while heating ordinary food. The failures often occur without any warning signs beforehand. You press start, expecting your meal to heat safely as it has hundreds of times before, and instead witness a terrifying display of sparks and smoke that fills your kitchen with fear and toxic fumes. For seniors living alone, especially those with limited mobility that makes quick evacuation difficult, the seconds it takes to react to a microwave fire can feel like an eternity. The sensory details in these complaints are visceral and disturbing to read. Owners describe the smell of burning plastic and ozone that is sharp and unmistakable. They describe seeing smoke pour from vents in thick gray plumes. They describe the panic of yanking a plug from the wall while hoping desperately that the damage remains contained and does not spread to their cabinets or walls. One senior described finding her Toshiba microwave's interior coated in a fine black residue after a sparking incident that lasted only seconds. The magnetron had malfunctioned catastrophically, spraying carbonized particles across the entire cooking cavity. She had been standing 3 feet away when it happened, close enough to feel the heat. Beyond fire hazards that grab attention, Toshiba microwaves have drawn criticism for control panel failures that compromise usability and safety, touchpads that stop responding to finger presses, displays that flicker erratically and go dark without warning. These failures might seem minor compared to fire, fires, but they compromise your ability to control the appliance. A microwave you cannot reliably stop is a microwave you cannot safely use. What happens when you need to stop cooking immediately and the controls do not respond? The betrayal with Toshiba runs deep because the brand trades on its prestigious reputation. Seniors pay premium prices expecting that global reputation translates directly to safety in their kitchens. But global supply chains, cost pressures, and manufacturing complexities mean even prestigious brands ship products with serious flaws that slip through quality control. According to industry analysis, the average American microwave is used approximately 10 years before replacement. That is 10 years of daily use, gradual wear, and potential degradation happening invisibly. For seniors who have owned their microwaves for a decade or more, the risks compound with every passing year. Seals wear thin. Components fail from fatigue. What was safe when new may be dangerous now without any visible indication of the change. Toshiba promised world-class engineering worthy of its global reputation. What too many seniors received was a reminder that no brand name guarantees safety, no matter how prestigious it sounds. Safe pick. Number 1. Breville. Now for the microwaves that actually deserve your trust and your money. The first safe option is Breville. Breville microwaves are engineered with multiple redundant safety systems designed by engineers who prioritize user safety. These include reinforced door seals that maintain their integrity over years of use, automatic shutoff sensors that detect abnormal conditions before they become dangerous, and rigorous quality control testing that catches defects before products ship. Independent reviews consistently rank Breville among the safest and most reliable microwave brands available to consumers. For seniors concerned about radiation leakage, fire hazards, and consistent heating that ensures food safety, Breville offers genuine peace of mind backed by engineering excellence. The price is higher than budget competitors, sometimes significantly higher. But safety is worth the investment when your health and your home are at stake. Your health and your home deserve protection that budget brands simply cannot guarantee, no matter what their packaging claims. Breville microwaves also feature intuitive controls that are easy for seniors to operate without confusion, with clear displays showing exactly what the appliance is doing and responsive buttons that do not fail after a few months of use. The build quality you can feel when you close the door. The confidence you have when you press start. That is what paying for quality actually means. Safe pick number 2, KitchenAid. The second recommendation is KitchenAid, a brand that has earned its reputation through decades of consistent quality. KitchenAid microwaves combine robust construction that feels substantial and well-made with intuitive safety features designed for reliable daily use over many years. The brand has maintained a strong safety record with minimal recalls and consistent positive reviews for build quality that lasts. Door latches engage securely with a solid click that tells you the seal is complete. Heating is even and predictable across the entire cooking cavity. For seniors managing health conditions that require careful meal preparation and consistent nutrition, KitchenAid provides the consistency and dependability needed to maintain healthy routines. You can heat your meals with confidence, knowing your appliance meets rigorous safety standards and will perform the same way every time. The investment in a KitchenAid microwave is an investment in peace of mind that pays dividends every day. No more worrying about sparks, smoke, or radiation leakage. No more wondering if today is the day your appliance fails. Just reliable heating, day after day, year after year. The way a microwave should work, your microwave should make your life easier, not put your health at risk. Now you know which brands to avoid and which ones actually deserve your trust and your money. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.